Here we are live in San Francisco for the final night of the SFL regular season before we hit the playoffs. Got a couple of information graphics on that, fresh from headquarters, so it's going to be great. But right now we got some football. Denver's coming into town to take on the San Francisco Sharks here at Shark Bait Stadium. Both teams eliminated from playoff contention, but still should be a great matchup as we get a look at the Denver sideline there. Also looking at the midfield. Folks talking to each other here. My name is Eric Vinson, alongside Marcus Dunhill here in the booth today, and we got Mark Lopez on stats tonight. What's going on tonight, Marcus?
Hey, thanks, Eric. This is going to be a good game we got here. Both teams are looking to right the ship at the end of the season and show where their franchise is going to be headed.
So we will head down to the coin toss here. Nightwings, the visiting team, wearing their darker uniform. Both teams electing to go with their darker uniforms. The Sharks coming out with a red alternate. Denver coming out with a black alternate. Both looking pretty fresh there. What do you think, Marcus?
I like both these uniforms. Especially, I think my favorite definitely has to be these Sharks uniforms.
All right, well, we got the ball teed up. Resetarian Sloan is ready to kick this thing away. And here we go. We're underway here in San Francisco. Fielded just inside the 5-yard line. Denver's going to bring it upfield following blockers. And will eventually get cut down at the 26-yard line. B.J. Armstrong is the one on the return here. Marcus, we've got Denver coming out. Josh Miller and company manning the offense. What are we looking for from this Denver team here on offense tonight?
I would expect them to come out throwing. Josh Miller, when he's at his best, he can throw that ball all over the field, and I bet they would be testing the secondary of the Sharks.
1st and 10 in the gun. Miller, plenty of time. Now he's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Big sack to start things off here for the San Francisco defense, and the crowd is going crazy.
If you know they're going to come out throwing, the best way to prevent that is to put as much pressure as you can on the quarterback to either get him or get him to throw an inaccurate pass.
So now 2nd and forever. Denver with 3 wideouts, 2 towards the top of the screen. Miller's going to go deep, right over the middle of the field. It's picked off going the other way. Didn't even get a chance to go over the defensive lineup, but that's Barry Barkley from his free safety spot, and he is putting San Francisco in business here at the 31-yard line of Denver.
It was a tough throw. He threw right around 2 players, and Barkley was able to get right in front of the football. Great job by Barkley to read the pass straight from the quarterback and get in front of it.
So that was a quick turnaround there. Didn't even get a chance to go over any of the starting lineups, but here we go. San Francisco getting their first possession. Got great field position, and they're coming out with an I formation. Rob Roby, the quarterback, led a comeback win for the ages against these Denver Nightwings when they played in Denver in Week 3. First pass of the ballgame, and that's Gabriel Manning with a couple spin moves, and he'll make it out to the 22-yard line. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Good effort by Manning. He was able to shake off a couple tackles, but just wasn't able to get around the 3rd one. They were able to pull him down. But it's a good job to make it a 2nd and 1 and a more manageable 2nd down to try to move those chains and get the offense rolling as they go forward.
Coming out again in an I formation, Ogunzulu is the back. He will get his first carry on 2nd and 1, and that Denver defense was ready for it as he gets no gain on 2nd down.
Luckily from that 1st down play, it's still a much more manageable 3rd and 1 instead of potentially 3rd and 10 if they hadn't gotten that first throw down the field.
So 3rd and very short. They're going to go with the gun here. Zulu in the backfield with Rob Roby, and Zulu will get the handoff and the 1st down into the SFL red zone, and it's going to be marked down at the Denver 19.
When you have a competent running back such as Zulu, you just got to trust that he's going to be able to get those short yard gains. Even though he got stopped the first time, you just trust in that running back, and you continue to hand the ball off, and it worked out for him.
Matt Burnham, the tight end. Gabriel Manning caught that pass earlier for the 9 yards, and Mickey Martino, the other wide receiver, for this San Francisco Sharks, coming out in their blood-red uniforms here. Easy to see, and ooh, it's easy to see that connection right there as Mickey Martino gets his first grab. That's going to be a first down and a first and goal from the 3.
They've really been good at taking advantage of this turnover from the Nightwings, and they put that pass directly where Martino would be able to get it. Now it sets up a great first and goal for the Sharks.
Handoff again to Zulu. Zulu will get it down to about the 2 before he was cut down. It's good effort there.
Without being in a hurry, they have enough time to try a couple runs, and if that doesn't work, then I think they can trust in their receivers to try a third down pass to the end zone.
So here we go, second and goal. Rob Roby doesn't like what he sees. He's changing things up on this Denver defense here. Denver showing blitz, stacking the box. Here comes the blitz. Roby in trouble, and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 6-yard line. Not a huge loss, but, man, that was not what San Francisco was looking for as they dragged him down back there. Heath Barr's the one with the sack.
The offensive lines have been struggling a little bit, and it looked like Roby might have walked up a little bit too far and walked right into that one.
So now a third and goal from the 6. 4 wide receivers, empty backfield. Roby under center. Roby's going to throw. He's got a man, but he did the tippy-toe drag. Mickey Martino not in the end zone, so it's going to be back to the original line of scrimmage at the 3, and it'll be 4th down.
When you get those short passes on third down, you know really that the only alternative you have is to try to go to the end zone. But I guess if it's between not catching the ball and catching the ball, you got to catch the ball. Sets up a slightly easier field goal here for the Sharks to try to go up 3-0 in the first quarter.
Razatarian Sloan, the kicker for this San Francisco Sharks team, as he will line up for a chip shot here. Should be just about 20 yards. Low snap, though, and the ball is blocked! Field goal is blocked, and they're not going to get anything on the scoreboard. So both teams coming up with huge swings of momentum and turnovers, and Denver's going to be backed up at their own 9-yard line, but kept them off the board.
Those field goals are never gimmies for any team, and that was a perfect opportunity for them to go ahead and block that ball. You don't see that too often, so what a good stop by Denver.
That low snap is what did him in there as Josh Miller back on offense, hands it off to Jared McChesney, and McChesney is going to get out to the 13-yard line. A good hard-fought 3 yards there.
Looks like Denver's electing to keep the ball on the ground a little bit. Working over the air didn't work so well last time. Josh Miller threw an interception on one of the first plays of the game, so I'd expect him to try to get out and throw it, but he needs to be very careful in working around those safeties from the Sharks.
Miller to throw again. Got a wide open Logan Keel, who's got first down yardage and more before he's ushered out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Good play there to get that first down yardage for the Nightwings.
Perfect job. Caught the ball and was able to get up. I believe he was able to make it past that first down marker to get the first down, which is all you need to continue. You know, some teams like to go as quickly as they can down the field, but slow and steady, pick up those first downs and keep moving. You know, you get that momentum rolling and you can go all the way.
Giacomo Jones and Ken Maccaro are the other 2 wide receivers. We saw Logan Keel with that reception there. We'll get to the defense after this play. Josh Miller going deep again, overthrows his receiver. Looks like Logan Keel actually had a step there, just not an accurate pass, and that's going to bring up second down.
The Sharks defense really started to get in there. That pocket was collapsing, and Miller didn't have a whole lot of time to throw. He might have had an extra second, but I think he felt a little bit rushed and wanted to get that ball out of there, so wasn't able to get as much accuracy on that football as he would have liked to.
Dean Maddox, Camden Hoffman, the corners for the Sharks defense. Abner St. John down in the trenches. Chad Guy, outside linebacker. Barry Barkley with the interception earlier. And Cristiano Torres, the other strong safety. We got a flag on the play. Pass over the middle is caught. And it's going to be marked down just shy of a first down, but we'll have to see what the penalty marker is.
Holding, number 42.
And that one going to be coming back. Actually, excuse me, that's a defensive holding, which is why the crowd is going crazy here Not sure if we'll get a replay on that one, but I certainly didn't see anything there, Marcus. But looks like Denver's actually going to get the first down after all. Offside I formation, 3 wideouts for Denver. Miller's going to hand it off to McChesney, and boy, was that Shark defense ready for it. Knocked him back at the 28-yard line. Good loss there for that San Francisco Sharks defense.
The run defense for the Sharks have been good so far, and they've been doing good also keeping the passing in check, getting that interception on Josh Miller. There's been times where Miller's been able to get those passes, but the defense so far has been doing a pretty good job of stopping everything that they're throwing at him.
Denver now going to the gun with 2 backs. Miller has time. He's going to throw it over the middle. And again, tight coverage there by Hoffman, but able to feed it to Giacomo Jones for his first catch of the ballgame.
That was very close. That was one of those passes we would say is very dangerous to throw. But you're in those situations where, you know, you just got to trust your receiver to have a better spot on the ball than the defenders do. And in that time, Miller was able to give him a perfect throw.
Miller to throw again. Miller's going to throw the out route that time. He's got his man. This time it's Maccaro, Ken Maccaro, and he gets on the board with his first catch there, but it's going to be short of first down, and Denver's going to have to punt here.
I like the defense from San Francisco on that. They knew they might have had a chance to play on that ball, but they knew that all they had to do was go ahead and get him out of bounds short of the sticks. As soon as that ball was thrown, stayed directly behind him, so he had no choice but to try to walk out of bounds with that football.
Got Denver Nightwings Junior Senior the third, the Glorax, Mr. Gutty 117, Siege Falco, Warhammer 62, and a bunch of others there in the chat. Certainly appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Be sure to hit that like button. Certainly helps out the league, and we certainly appreciate the love as well. And we got a tight ball game here to start things off here, Marcus. A couple turnovers and a punt there on the second possession for Denver. So now we'll see what San Francisco can do here in a little less better field position than they were in the first time. Three wideouts, handoff to Zulu. Zulu trying to follow his blockers, and he'll get cut down at the 32-yard line, only a gain of 1.
So far, defense has been top-notch by both sides. However, I'm looking at Rob Roby's statistics here, and it looks like he's 3 for 3 so far in this game, which means, you know, a lot can change. It's only the first 3 passes, but if he can stay at that high level, this Sharks offense might be able to go far in this game.
Shout out to my boy Marco Lopez, man in the stats wagon tonight. Thank you, sir, for your help. Another pass. This one's going to be a short one, and that's the tight end Burnham. So Roby spreading the ball around pretty well here. Not necessarily getting a ton of yardage, Marcus, but he's spreading it out to every wide receiver, every weapon he's got.
It's a nice way to start. You start testing your receivers, see where you can get the ball. You don't always have to pick up a ton of yards. However, you got to know where you can put that football and just test the defense and make sure that they're not going to make a play on it.
Roby's going to throw again and into tight coverage. That one's going to fall incomplete, intended for Martino. Looked like he might have made a circus catch there, but it was all for naught as we get another look here.
There was somebody right in front of him and right behind him. He tried to go up for that football, got his hand on it, but the second he got his hand on a football, there was a Denver Nightwing pulling him to the ground. There was no way he was coming down with that catch.
It might have been Cristiano Torres coming up there and laying the lumber there. So we got another punt. Each team punting, each team turning the ball over. Kicks the punter for San Francisco as he's lined up just inside his own 20. No pressure on that kick as he gets it away, fielded at about the 25, and that is where B.J. Armstrong will be cut down right around the 28-yard line. So 3:05 left to go here in the first quarter of play. Final night of the SFL regular season. Got a good game for you so far. Both teams playing for pride, playing for momentum going into the next season. Miller under center, hit as he's thrown, but he completes the pass anyway. Threads the needle over to the Jones as we get a look at the early numbers from the quarterbacks.
Both quarterbacks have done fairly well, all things considered. That interception by the Nightwings, though, does hurt them. But besides that interception, both quarterbacks have been fairly accurate. Just neither of them have been picking up a ton of yards on their throws.
So 1st and 10 coming up here for the Nightwings. 2 backs behind Miller. He is under center. We got 2 receivers towards the top of your screen. San Francisco anticipating run, stacking the box here. They're going to back out. And a wide open wide receiver over on the right-hand side. Plenty of room. A well-designed play for the Nightwings as Jones rumbles for a good amount there out to the 40 of San Francisco.
Looks like San Francisco was playing back a little bit and didn't expect them to go over to the side. And they were able to pick up a ton of room with blockers.
First and 10 now. Another airmail circus attempt there for Jones, and that falls incomplete. That would have been a heck of a play there. He was able to reel that one in.
Just a little bit too far out of his reach, but it's one of those opportunities. When you see your wide receiver in space, you got to take those throws. Because the worst thing that can happen is that he's just not going to catch it. That defender was behind him. There's no way the defender was going to get to that ball first. So you give your wide receivers a chance to make a play on a ball like that.
Three wideouts, 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff. McChesney with the spin move there, following blockers. And he had some good potential there on that run as he falls just shy of the first down marker. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Nightwings.
It's going to be one of his best run. That's going to be his best run so far in this game. Starting to get that running game moving a little bit here. Now that they're on the other side of the field, you want to be very careful what you do with that football because you're close to being in field goal range.
Stadium is getting loud here for this 3rd down. Denver to throw again. Miller throws a check down there and almost an interception. That was great defense by Chad Guy, unable to come up with the pick. And unfortunately for them, McChesney rumbles for about 4 or 5.
Miller got very lucky on that football. Just was barely out of reach of Chad Guy being able to get his hand on that football. And when he went past, it gave their receiver a chance to go ahead and move and get that 1st down. But that was very close to being intercepted.
They've run with this formation quite a bit as McChesney finds some room. And he will be cut down at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up here as that was a great run there on 2nd down.
McChesney's finding the hole right there, was able to get right past those defenders, the linebackers, right into where the safeties were, and they were able to tackle him, but he was able to pick up plenty of yards, which gives them a 1st down, a new opportunity here in the red zone to try to score.
Miller in trouble. He avoids the pressure and almost throws another pick. Man, Barry Barkley had his eyes on number 2, but couldn't quite come up with it on that one.
When you're looking in the red zone, you may have to, the space between the end of the field and where you are starts to shrink. Those safeties come up. So there's a lot less places you can put that football. So sometimes throwing in between defenders is a sacrifice you have to make to try to make those throws.
First quarter of action coming to a close here. 2nd down from the 14. Another handoff to McChesney following blockers. Another spin move. And he will be dragged down at the 7-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd and manageable coming up, though.
McChesney's picked up 25 yards in the last 3 runs. He's done a great job on this particular drive, moving that football and inching them closer and closer to the goal line.
Might get one more playoff before the end of the 1st quarter if Miller will snap this here. And he does barely get it off. Miller's going to throw a fade to the back of the end zone, and instead it gets picked off again. I couldn't quite make out who that was that got that. I think that was the other corner there.
That play was perfect by the corner. The ball was a little bit underthrown. In a situation like that, when you're getting pushed and you don't have a lot of side on that corner, you need to throw it as far out to the side of the corner of the end zone as you can to give your receiver an opportunity to make that catch. However, it was a little bit underthrown to the middle of the end zone. There's no way he was going to contest that football.
So D. Maddox with a pick in the back of the end zone forces a 0-0 tie here at the end of 1. San Francisco getting the ball back here. You're watching the SFL Network on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Eric Vinson alongside Marcus Dunhill. Mark Lopez in the stats truck tonight. Rob Roby is going to have another possession here and a quick throw out over the middle of the field. Caught for about an 8-yard gain.
Neither of the quarterbacks have been able to throw it very far right now. I think these defenses are playing so well that they want to try to get these short passes and maybe see if they can juke out a defender and get a little bit of yards after catch.
Second and 2. Ball at the 28-yard line.
So a 2nd and 2 now for Roby. Roby's going to check it down on a screen, lowers his shoulder, does Zulu, and he's able to get forward progress past the first down marker and out to the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Sharks.
These defensive battles, you have to make sure you pick up these first downs and keep moving the chain, so they did a good job doing that, because every first down is extremely important when you're playing a defense like Denver, defense like San Francisco. Every single yard counts.
MediaTek Institute, do what you love what you do. Check out our ticker down there at the bottom for all of our wonderful sponsors. As Roby throws that out to his fullback this time, and not a whole lot of running room there for him as he gets knocked down after only a gain of 1.
It's found right at the line of scrimmage and was able to go forward for about a yard, but was looking to break some tackles and see if he could get away, but there were a couple defenders in the area.
Second and 9 now. Roby's going to throw. He's got an out route. That's caught for first down yardage. And he's going to be knocked down at the 44-yard line. And that's Tim Brown Jr. He was having a lot of troubles holding on to the football last time I saw him when these two teams played each other. But that was a good catch right there and a good first down.
Got the catch and was chased around the corner. Had just enough room to get around to the first down marker.
Roby with another handoff. He'll hand it off to Zulu, who only gets maybe a couple on that play. He'll mark him down at the 47, so a gain of 3 officially. 2nd down coming up here.
McChesney was picking it up a little bit in the last drive, but both running backs overall have been struggling quite a bit in this game. The run defenses have been quite strong by both teams.
Mr. Gutty 117 getting excited for Tim Brown's catch earlier as throws another one. Roby does out to, I believe that's Manning, Gabriel Manning with another catch, and he'll step out of bounds right at midfield. So a 3rd down coming up here for the Sharks.
That's unfortunate for Manning and the Sharks. He had a lot of space in front of him to be able to turn that corner and get up to that first down marker. Just had too much momentum behind him and couldn't stop moving.
2 catches, 12 yards on the day for Manning. Coming out in an I formation here on 3rd down. Denver with 7 men in the box. They'll back out. Nice little swing pass over to the fullback there. And did he get enough? Yes, he did. They will give him forward progress out to the Denver 46 and another first down for the Sharks.
Good catch by the fullback. He grabbed that with one hand and continued to move forward and was just able to get that ball across the marker before he got pulled down. The Sharks coming out in their blood red alternates tonight. We commented on those right at the coin toss. Easy to see. As Roby's going to throw to the sideline again, and that's another catch. This time Mickey Martino is the one. And he will get 6 on first down, so it's 2nd and 4 coming up here. Roby right now is 11 for 12. He's got a nearly perfect amount of passes so far in this game. And when you're against these strong defenses, what you need to do is exactly what they're doing. Look for those short 4 or 5 yard gains that you can get, because if you can keep getting those consistently, you can keep moving the chains.
Offset I formation. Zulu's going to get a handoff, trying to follow blockers, breaking the tackle, and eventually gets dragged down at the 35-yard line. That was a hard, tough run by the big back for San Francisco.
With these defenses, you really need to be able to switch it up and get that momentum in the run as well, and it looks like Zulu is starting to figure it out here in this game. trying to figure out exactly which holes he can run through, which defenders he needs to stay away from, and where he can go on this field to get as many yards as possible for his team.
6 feet 220 is Ogunzulu as he gets another carry here, reverses field, and he's finding room along the right-hand side, dragging bodies, and he makes a 3-yard loss and a 10-yard gain. What a run by Ogunzulu.
That was extremely impressive. You saw him, he was supposed to go up to the left side of the line. There was not a single hole, but he didn't even want to try. He said, okay, we're going to go to the other side. He stopped, reversed field, was even able to break a couple tackles and was able to make it almost 10 yards.
Very long, methodical drive for the Sharks, as Zulu will get another handoff. This time, no one's fooled as Denver knocks him down for a 3-yard loss.
In a situation like this, when you end up 3rd and 3, you got to see whether you're going to hand it off to that running back who did have a good run and also got stopped, or whether you want to send it over to your 11 for 12 quarterback and see if those wide receivers can pick up the 3 yards you need.
So a 3rd and 3 here. Roby's going to throw. He's got time. He's got a man. First down yardage and more. Tim Brown Jr. making it out to the Denver 7 for a 1st and goal for San Francisco.
That was about as perfect for San Francisco as it gets on this play. Looks like the defenders for a second weren't sure which person they were going to cover, and it looks like the two people ended up splitting on the wrong defenders and left that wide receiver wide open on the left side, and he was able to pick up that 1st down.
Very well-designed play there. Gives them a 1st down, a 1st and goal for that matter. We're not able to capitalize the last time as Denver was able to block the field goal attempt by Razatarian Sloan. We'll see if they can punch it in the end zone. Not on this play, though. 2-yard loss there as the Denver defense stops them in their tracks.
In a defensive battle, points are at a premium. You saw on the last drive from Denver, they threw an interception in the end zone. And, you know, you have to be so careful to keep protection on that ball to try to pick up points, because every point could be the difference between winning and losing this game.
Roby to throw again. He's got a man on the out route. Denver closed quickly on that, though, and he was only able to get a couple yards. That was Jones with another catch. And Marcus, a quick reminder here, they started off way back at their 20-yard line at the start of the 2nd quarter. Look at where the time's at now.
They haven't moved. They moved short field all the way down. You know, they had a couple big passes, but not a ton of them.
Roby to throw, got a man in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. And that's Tim Brown Jr. again. Look at him. Big part of this drive.
Quite a day. I knew there were defenders around him, so Roby made the decision to throw it to him in the end zone, and you know, there were people to the left and right of him, but nobody to get in front of that football, so he had an opportunity just to get in there, and nobody was able to get in front of it. So it was an amazing play by San Francisco to get those points, and looks like Denver will need to try to respond now.
Bit of a wobbler there, too. It was probably lucky that it made it there. Sloan had a field goal attempt blocked. We alluded to that earlier. We'll see if they got the snap under control. Almost blocked again. Another low snap. But San Francisco able to add the extra point. It's a 7-0 lead for the Sharks as we get things ready to go the other way here.
Both teams seem to kind of have the same game plan. Run a little bit, make those short passes, move down the field, and so far it's been executed better by San Francisco than Denver so far in this game.
Fielded from inside the 5-yard line. B.J. Armstrong will bring it up to the 22. It's a little bit better of a return than he would have gotten just from simply a touchback. But, man, that was a long drive that San Francisco had. Chewed up a ton of clock. So Denver is definitely going to have to answer here and get some points on the board, Marcus.
Miller here is 6 for 9 with 64 yards, but also 2 interceptions. They can't move too quickly and risk more interceptions, though.
We've seen this formation several times tonight. 2 wideouts towards the top of the screen. This time he's got a man. And that's a first down throw for Miller. Giacomo Jones has been all over the place today.
It's been a good start for this drive. Miller needs to look on the field and know where it's safe to put the ball, where it's not, and continue to make some safe throws, give his team some momentum and chemistry against this defense.
This time only coming out with 2 wideouts. Might be a run here. McChesney in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff. Following blockers. Good gain of 2 on the play. Hard fought as Barkley comes up and lays the lumber from his safety spot.
McChesney's up to 30 yards in the day. It's a good start, but you can't expect a whole ton of yards on a defensive battle like this. Your job is just continue to make sure your team can move, and anytime you can pick up those first downs, make sure you can get those.
McChesney's going to get another handoff here, and he had some space to work with there. Good 4 yards before anyone even touched him. Made it out to the 42-yard line for a 3rd and short.
Now they have the opportunity to see if you can pick up 2 more yards and pick up that first down. Otherwise, they're going to take it to the air.
Third and 2, inside of 3 minutes to go here in the half, and a quick first half as Miller's hit as he's thrown, still completes the pass. San Francisco did just about everything they could on that drive, that play to force the incompletion. Just was not meant to be, and Denver moves the sticks.
I thought that ball was going to fall just a little bit short. I didn't think he had enough power on that to get it to the receiver, but quite surprised he did and was able to pick up the first down.
Miller with another handoff to McChesney. McChesney has been getting a lot of room there past the line of scrimmage, 3-4 yards before he's able to be hit.
What McChesney's doing is he's making these third downs a lot more manageable. If you did that last play, 7 or 8 yards out, that would not have been a first down. So he's doing his job to make sure his team has those manageable plays, because sometimes 5 or 6 yards is the best you're going to be able to do.
And with that, we reach the 2-minute warning here on the SFL Network on YouTube, presented by APM Music. 7-0 score here in San Francisco. Sharkbait Stadium with the hometown Sharks wearing their blood red alternates. Denver coming out with their black alternates. Both teams looking really good, both as far as uniforms go and on the field. Been a defensive struggle, so we'll see what happens here as they line up from midfield. Miller's going to hand off to McChesney, who gets hung up at the line of scrimmage there. Was not able to get much, and it's going to be a 3rd and a little bit longer.
3rd and 6, they're going to have to pull something out of their bag of tricks to get a little bit of a further throw here. Otherwise, they got to make sure that they can get some space for their receivers.
3rd and 6 is a toughie. Crowd on their feet here in San Francisco. Miller's going to take a short drop and throw. He's got a wide open man down at the bottom of the screen. Logan Keel able to get first down yardage and more. Clock continuing to roll here.
Able to find himself in enough space to get that first down. I'm not exactly sure what the defenders were doing on that side, but they were able to give up just enough room for him to get a first down there. And they better keep moving. They got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
Miller standing in the pocket, leaping defender there, able to bat the ball down. And that's usually a product of the offensive lineman not staying fully engaged.
This is the opportunity where the Sharks need to look and say, we need to keep them out of field goal range, and there's only 1 minute left. So either get the ball out of the air or get the quarterback down on the ground.
Minute 4 frozen on the clock, 2nd and 10, offside I formation for the Night Wings. Miller to throw. He's going to throw it over to the side. San Francisco going for the pick. Does not work out. They're going to go no huddle here as they get the first down. From the 28, same formation. Miller taking his time getting this ball off. Finally takes the snap. He's going to throw an out route towards the bottom of the screen. Jones has got it, and they will mark him out of bounds as 40 seconds is frozen on the clock now.
It seems like they're playing for a field goal and not playing for that touchdown. That can work for you, but you got to be very careful. And San Francisco went for that interception, and when you miss on a jump like that, you lose a defender that can try to take down that receiver.
Deep into enemy territory are the Nightwings. Miller's going to throw again. He's going to throw that same route. This time they were ready for it. And the Sharks bat the ball down. 3rd and 5 coming up here.
Tried to get down to the outside and just could not get around that defender.
Stayed with him step for step the whole way there, Marcus.
Well, I think the defender did a great job not letting that receiver get his hands on that football.
Let's get a look at beautiful Sharkbait Stadium. Crowd on their feet once again. They've been very loud here in San Francisco. Beautiful weather out, mid-60s, great football weather, and a great game so far. Miller's under center. He's going to throw again. He's going to throw deep into the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. He was throwing it into double coverage. Jones not able to come up with a big catch, and it's going to be 4th down and a field goal try.
That's really too bad. He had enough time to throw. He thought he could have that, and the receiver just couldn't come up with the football. They should be able to go ahead and try to get that field goal, but if they had gotten that pass, they could have rushed up or taken a timeout, and they'd be in good shape to try to get a score before the end of the first half.
So this one will be about a 40-yarder. Good snap. And it is up and through. They will mark it from 39. But a good kick there by Denver. Lawn able to knock it through and get his team some points on the board.
If you can stay within a touchdown at halftime, you're in really good shape. You can make some adjustments, figure out where you can continue to get those points from. Now what San Francisco needs to decide is whether or not they're going to take the last 25 seconds or so, try to air it down the field, or just play conservative, take their lead, and go into the locker room.
Show Business Studios, the ultimate live event and film production, prop rental, set design, and construction, the official home of the SFL convention. As Gabriel Manning brings his kick return up to the 29, 24 seconds left to go here in the first half. It's been an exciting one. We had a blocked field goal. We've had a couple picks. Definitely has kept it interesting here.
It's been a great game so far for both teams, just making sure their defenses are on the ball. And the offenses you've seen good plays by both sides.
Got a bunch of receivers towards the bottom of your screen. Roby's going to throw an out route. He's got some room. That's Martino with the ball. And he will make it out to the 38-yard line. All 3 timeouts for both these teams, but they elect to go no huddle here. Roby's going to snap it quick. He's going to throw that out route again, and that was Gabriel Manning with the catch and the first down. 10 seconds left on the clock here, and they are down at the 43-yard line.
Figure the defense for Denver, I think they're coming out running, so Roby just looking to see if he can get him off balance a little bit, not trying for anything big, but if you can get a good pass and make a defender or 2 miss, you can make it all the way to the end zone.
Not quite in Hail Mary range, so Roby's going to come out with a couple wide receivers and Zulu. Zulu's going to get the handoff, and he had a good amount of room there. He'll make it out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 5. That might put them in Hail Mary range as they call a timeout with 3 seconds left to go.
As long as they don't come back with that football, you don't have a lot to lose. You might as well give it a shot.
Coach Freddie Pollard giving Rob Roby a talking to on the sideline there as he trots back out for this final play of the first half.
Just make sure if you do Hail Mary that your offense is ready if it goes sideways to make sure they don't return it.
And it does look like they're going to line up in Hail Mary formation here. Roby's got a strong arm, so we'll see what he can do with it here. Good protection. Roby's going to air it out. He's got a guy back there. Incomplete as the Denver defense played that well. Vega able to knock it down and force this into the locker rooms. A 7-3 ball game for San Francisco. And we will bring up the 2K Sports halftime show. Stats and highlights coming up. Also want to talk about our upcoming playoff games. We will get to that here shortly, but first, stats and highlights. Get a live look at Sharkbait Stadium as we come out here for the second half. Get a quick look at the wild card weekend coming up. Carolina visiting Queen City, a 10-7 matchup there. As we will get a look at them. Also got one more wild card matchup, but we will first get this kickoff here. Long kicking it away to the Sharks, fielding it inside the 15-yard line is Gabriel Manning, and he will bring it out to the 31-yard line. So back real quick, Wednesday, October 10th, it's going to be 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be on the lookout for Carolina and Queen City. And then we also have the Las Vegas Fury visiting the Sioux Falls Sparrows that same night, 8:45 Central Time at 9:45 Eastern, so a late night and a lot of SFL football coming up. Wednesday, October 10th, so mark your calendars, folks. As Rob Roby is going to throw deep to start things off, and he's got a man wide open. Gabriel Manning's not going to be touched. He's going to waltz into the end zone for a touchdown.
I was just looking at these stats at halftime, and I knew those big plays were at a premium, and I wasn't sure if we were going to get any in this game, and we happened to just get one. I think Manning must have found himself a good spot where he could get that football. Let's take a look at exactly how this happened. It looks like nobody followed him. Neither the corner or the safety went step for step with him, left him way too much room, and you can't give Roby an opportunity like that or you're going to regret it.
Definitely a miscommunication on defense there as Roby made them pay. Now, they have had some trouble here in the kicking game today. Denver already blocking a field goal. There was a low snap on the extra point previously. So this one's not a gimme here as Sloan lines up for it. Another low snap, but he's able to get it up and through. So San Francisco doing their best to give their fans a heart attack here as they go up 11 for a 14-3 score.
I think San Francisco nearly doubled their passing yards on the first play. I know that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's, the best offense we've seen so far. And I was just about to say how close these teams have been. Their passing yards were only off by about 5, and their running yards were only off by about 8, but it's not close anymore.
Didn't even give us time to really analyze that at all. As kind of a weird return there for B.J. Armstrong as he makes it out just past the 20 out to the 22. Looking at the stats, Marcus, you were right. I mean, there's not a single thing that was separating these two teams at halftime, rather than the 4 points on the scoreboard. But coming out of the half there, just right out the gate, bombing it to Manning, that's incredible right there.
I think San Francisco was playing it a little bit better. They had those 2 interceptions on Miller, but it was very close for both sides.
So we'll see what Miller and company can do here. As Marcus mentioned, 2 picks. Miller's going to throw it deep, though, and into double coverage. Probably trying to force something there as you're looking for Logan Keel, but it's going to fall incomplete.
I guarantee you when San Francisco saw that big play on the sidelines, when they saw that bomb to Manning, I guarantee you their defense said, okay, we need to make sure we don't let that happen to us.
Bunched receivers this time for Miller. Frisco is showing blitz, backs out of it. This time, Miller able to thread the needle. And the difference there was he didn't have any safety help necessarily, as it looks like it was Maccaro with the catch there.
That looked pretty similar to where he tried to put the football in the last play, but that time he just had a little bit more space to get that football in.
And I apologize, actually was the safety that was in man coverage there, Cristiano Torres, just getting beat at the line. So a good completion for Miller and company as they make it out to the 41-yard line, 1st and 10. Nightwing's looking for a spark here. Miller trying to provide it as he throws it deep and a diving interception. Are you kidding me? Camden Hoffman, give me a replay.
Oh, just not enough power on that from Miller. That's so crushing. They knew they had to come out and respond because you can't give up such a big play on defense and then not have your offense try to respond when you're down by 11 points. But, you know, this Sharks defense has just been so strong, and they've just been taken away from Miller 3 times in this game.
So now a 1st and 10 from the Sharks 39. Good field position as Zulu gets the handoff, and he's dragging bodies out to the 45. Let me go over to the defense real quick. I just realized I haven't gone over the Denver defense. Osiris Pelican, B.J. Armstrong, the 2 corners. Bailey Baca, Chewbacca right down there in the trenches at defensive tackle. Matthew Jake with him. Got Pepper Rahman Jr. at inside linebacker. A.J. Sean and Nicholas Warner are the safeties for the Nightwings as it brings up 2nd and 4 here. Roby to throw. He's going to throw it over the middle. He's got a man for a 1st down and more. Out to the 45-yard line of Denver, already into opponent territory. And it's a catch there by Matt Burnham, his tight end.
If you saw that quarterback rating stat on there, Roby's been so good in this game. He's got about a 90% completion percentage. Looks like he's 18 for 20, including that long touchdown on the last drive.
Just a banana stat line. As Roby's going to throw again, and again with another completion, as he's barely able to keep his toes in, is Mickey Martino. He'll get a gain of 3 on that play.
You want to make sure you make good plays. You don't want to put that ball up where that defense is going to get it. But you also know when you're up by 11, the clock and the score is on your side, you can start settling for field goals as long as your defense continues to hold them back.
2nd and 7.
3 wideouts for Roby. He's got 2 backs on either side of him in the gun. Zulu's going to get a handoff, and he's not able to get much as he gets maybe a couple on that play. Good play by the defensive front line for the Nightwings.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 5, and now you're going to have to look for that pass defense. You need to make sure that Roby's not going to get any of those tight windows to put that ball over the line. They can defend the pass. They have a good chance to continue to fight back into this game.
From the 40, Roby under center. Roby's going to throw. He's got that out route once again, and he's got 1st down yardage for Mickey Martino, and he'll make it out to the 35-yard line of Denver. And that's been what the San Francisco game plan has been, is just dink and dunk, move those chains.
That was so close. I thought you might have stepped out for a second, but it looks like they're going to give it to him, and it doesn't look like it's going to be challenged. Great play just to be able to get over the line, but he was very close to stepping out of bounds.
Absolutely. But it will be a 1st and 10 from the 35. 8:05 left to go here in the 3rd. Roby's going to swing it out to his running back, Zulu, and he will get dragged down at the 31-yard line, so a gain of 4 on that play.
Roby's still over 91% on his completion percentage. He's really, as a quarterback, he's just been making the right decisions in this game. It hasn't been for a ton of yards besides that long pass to Manning for a touchdown, but he's controlling the clock, controlling the field, and is making good decisions for his team.
He's definitely taking what the defense has given him here, and we'll see what they give him on 2nd and 6. Oh, man, they'll give him a sack. That's Bailey Baca getting in there and just eating him whole. Good grief. He still hadn't even gotten up for that.
Yeah, 2 people engaged on 1 offensive lineman. You can only block 1 at a time. It's very difficult to block 2 defensive linemen, and picked 1 and the other went right through.
And I apologize. That was Bandit Bandito getting in there and knocking him down. It was a great Bailey Baca impression. So a 3rd and long now for the Sharks, and Roby does it again. He threads the needle out to Gabriel Manning into the SFL red zone, and a 1st and 10 from the 18.
Looks like Gabriel Manning is also perfect on receptions, which is quite impressive in a game like this when, you know, every catch is a premium, when these defenses are playing so tight on every receiver.
Just an unbelievable throw and catch there. Trips towards the top of the screen for Roby. He's in the gun. From the 18, he'll throw. Throws it over the middle. He's got Martino, and that'll be a gain of 3 or 4 as the Denver defense converged on him in a hurry.
Just yard by yard, they're slowly marching down the field, and Roby's been throwing it around to about every single receiver. and they've all been doing their part to make sure they come up with that football.
Now with a bunch formation down at the bottom of the screen. Roby with a short drop. He's going to airmail it into the end zone. Tip drill and incomplete. Pelican and Warner both had a shot at that pick, but it falls to the turf. Incomplete.
That was so close. I wasn't exactly sure where he was even going to be able to put that football, where his receiver was going to get a hand on it. That was almost in every situation probably an interception. So it's, you know, it's too bad for Denver they weren't able to get away with that one.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 here. They're going to go with that same trips formation that we saw a couple plays ago. Roby to throw. He's going to throw that same exact play. And another successful completion for another first down out to the 7 for a 1st and goal.
Just methodical marching by the Sharks. It was 3rd and 5. You know, they could either go for that end zone again, or they could go for that first down, and they pick up the first down, and now they get 3 more tries at the end zone.
So 1st and goal from the 7, inside of 6 minutes to go. Zulu's going to get a handoff, lowering his shoulder, and he will get dragged down at the Denver 5. Do a quick score screen update for you right now. Score Screen, the official scoring app of the SFL, for you to download on both iPhone and Android. 7-3 score for the Atlanta Swarm over the OKC Renegades. We've got the London Knights with a 10-point advantage over the Indianapolis Red Devils. And, of course, our score right here in San Francisco, 14-3, with the Sharks knocking on the door at the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal for Roby. He'll take a deep drop and throw. He's going to throw into the back of the end zone, right in the middle of Denver coverage, incomplete.
Roby seems to be very hesitant of where he can put that football in the end zone. He's just making all these plays in the open field. When it comes to Roby throwing in the end zone, he just hasn't been able to find the right place for that football, and every time he just threw it into a group of Nightwing defenders.
Pepper Ramen Jr. getting in there and getting his big fat mitt up, knocking the ball to the turf. You can hear the crowd roaring here in Sharkbait Stadium. 3rd and goal from the 5. Roby's under center. He'll have Zulu offset. Roby's going to throw it to the back of the end zone, and it's intercepted. What a play by the defender to come up with the interception, and that's going back the other way. Osiris Pelican with the pick.
3rd time's the charm. That's the 3rd time they've had an opportunity on that football in the end zone. And Roby could just not get a read on where those defenders were going to be, and every single time when he threw into that end zone, he threw directly to Nightwing defenders. So it's good for them to be able to get that ball and give Josh Miller another chance. But, man, Roby's got to figure out that end zone.
Well, and honestly, I think Roby just missed through that ball. I think he wanted to throw it more towards the back of the end zone, towards the corner of the end zone, but instead threw it more towards the center, and that's where he got the pick. Miller just drops a dime right there as he gets a ton of yards out to Logan Keel for a 1st down.
That was very close to the line of scrimmage. He just ran up and threw it and saw the perfect window to put that football. Knew he had to get a few steps in to get the power on that football, but he was able to get it to him. Get a look at Giacomo Jones's numbers right there. Miller with the long completion there sets them up from the 45. Blitz coming. Miller's going to throw it over the middle. Got plenty of room. And I believe that's Keel once again. Blitz was coming, and the corners just did not do a great job in coverage, and that ends up with a huge Keel completion. Been great life for the Nightwings, able to find wide open over the middle of the field after the catch. He was able to pick up about 10 more yards. They were able to converge on him, but Miller is good when you give him space. If you give him space, he'll throw on you all day. 14 of 22, 178 yards, and those 3 picks from earlier. So Miller finally finding a bit of a groove here. Completing big passes on this drive. Very different from what we've seen from San Francisco as McChesney gets another run. And he will make it out to the 18-yard line into the SFL red zone for a 2nd and 1 coming up. Look at the life from the Nightwings on this drive. Good passes, good throws, moving straight down the field. All the way up to the red zone. Spygo, your choice for sound reinforcement. Give him a call right there. And another throw and another pick.
Josh Miller, I think, was trying to hit that hitch route there to Keel, and the defense was all over it. I'm not sure why you threw that ball there, Marcus.
I don't think he should have thrown that up there. Look how close up those safeties were playing. If he would have had his receivers go to the end zone, I think he could have easily got those touchdowns. Everybody was playing almost up to the line of scrimmage, and he could have got a one-on-one play in the end zone.
D. Maddox with another pick, his second of the ball game. Maybe got away with a little bit of a push-off there, but that'll give the Sharks the ball back with an 11-point advantage and time winding down here in the third. 1st and 10 from the 18 for San Francisco. Roby to throw again. He's got time, pocket collapsing. He's going to dump it off, and that's Zulu who will get absolutely swallowed up. Good defense there by the Nightwings.
Josh Miller is just having a tough time with this defense. 4 interceptions so far, and 1 for Roby on the other side. So far in the turnover battle, San Francisco has definitely been winning.
Roby with a deep drop, probably looking deep. He's going to throw deep, and he's got a man. Did he get his foot in? He did. Out to the 33-yard line, a good chunk of yards. I believe that was a good 12 or 13-yard pass to Gabriel Manning.
Manning was able to get it. It looks like all the defenders were behind him, so all he had to do is put the ball right in front of him, and you know the defenders just could not keep up with Manning. He's quick, that's why he's their kick returner.
And it looks like Denver's going to actually challenge the ruling on the field. I thought we might see the red flag on this one, as it was tough to tell if he was actually able to get his foot in bounds. 1 foot rule here in the SFL, so we'll get another look here on the replay challenge.
I thought he did, but we'll see. He was moving pretty quick.
Even in slow motion, it just kind of goes real smooth, so we'll see what the referee says.
The pass has been ruled incomplete. The catch was made out of bounds.
So they did overturn it. Denver not going to be charged a timeout, and it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. Manning just not able to get that 1 foot in that is needed for a completion.
He needed that speed to get away from those defenders, was able to get enough separation. But that speed is exactly what did him in. He just couldn't get his foot down in bounds.
So rather than a first down, a 3rd and 11 coming up here for Rob Roby and company. Roby's going to throw again. He's going to throw in the middle of the field. That's Mickey Martino. Martino isn't going to be caught either. He's got a long touchdown catch too. Touchdown San Francisco.
Wow, these safeties have just... I don't know. Let's see what happens in that replay, but the safeties did not stick on him. He got away from them, and straight down the field. This is the 2nd time in this game that this has happened. So let's see. He was getting covered. He just hesitated for a second and didn't stick with Martino, and Martino was just able to get it and go straight to the end zone.
Well, and that's the problem when one of your safeties is playing man coverage. They get burned off the line there, and there is no help over the top, as we just saw right there, Marcus.
If you give an opportunity, they're going to take it, and that's 2 touchdowns in this game from passes that were over 50 yards.
So we'll see if Razatarian Sloan and the special teams unit for San Francisco can convert this extra point. They've had a little bit of trouble today. Another low snap. Denver almost getting there again. I'm not sure what is happening with the snaps today, but they're going to have to get that one under control. Able to bang that one through, though. 21-3, your score here in San Francisco, as we get the ball teed up and ready to go from Sloan.
Looks like Roby's got about 300 yards on the day, and most of those yards are coming from those 2 long touchdown passes.
They have been throwing the ball in bunches, and you said it, man. A couple 50-yard completions, that'll do it, as B.J. Armstrong will bring this up the field out to the 23-yard line. And we'll get a look at these playoff matchups once again here. Number 10 seed Carolina visiting Queen City in Buffalo on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And the Las Vegas Fury will be visiting Sioux Falls, South Dakota, directly following that game. Same day, 8:45 Central, 9:45 Eastern. Both games will be broadcast on Twitch. Josh Miller going to throw it over the middle, and he's got a completion for a first down out to the 39-yard line. They're going to need to see more of that and less of those picks.
when you're down 18 points, you really have to come out throwing, but throwing, you know, has been a curse and a blessing so far for Denver in this particular game. They've found some good throws, but he's also thrown 4 interceptions, and you need to make sure that if you're going to try to make this comeback, you need to keep that ball as safe as you can because, you know, you're running out of time. There's only about 2.5 minutes left of the third quarter, and you need quite a few scores to keep in this game.
2 backs in the shotgun formation with Miller. Miller's going to throw, blitz coming. He'll throw an out route, and Dean Maddox there all over the receiver. Still able to get the completion for 7 yards.
Led his receiver straight to the sideline and was able to get the ball over the defender's head, which is a good play to be able to do that. However, it kept the ball in bounds, and the clock is going to continue to talk. The clock is not their friend.
Offside I formation for Miller and company this time. San Francisco stacking the box. They'll send pressure. Picks it up. And this time it's a completion out to Giacomo Jones, who will make it out to the 43-yard line of San Francisco. This has not been Denver's problem moving the football. Their problem is once they get into the red zone, Marcus, they have not been able to convert.
And they need to. They need to start getting these points put on the board, and I think they need to move a little bit quicker. They're really taking these time with their last few throws, and they need to move a little bit faster, I think.
2 wideouts towards the bottom of the field. It's going to be a handoff to McChesney, trying to lower his shoulder, and he will make it out to the 39-yard line for a gain of 4.
Denver's really going to need their defense to step up and make sure that Roby doesn't get any of these passes on him because there hasn't been a whole lot of 3-and-outs in this particular game, it looks like, from San Francisco, and they really need to hold him down if they're going to get this ball back to continue to put up points.
Miller in the gun. He's going to throw again. He'll check it down over the middle of the field, and that's caught. That'll be shy of a first down, but out to the 35-yard line of San Francisco, and they keep moving the ball.
Just need to see what they're going to be able to do here, pick up those yards and get into the red zone and get that ball into the end zone.
Third and short for the Nightwings. It's going to be a handoff to McChesney following blockers. Got first down yardage and more out to the 26-yard line. That was a good run there on 3rd and short. Able to move the sticks.
McChesney was so close to being able to take that ball down the sideline. I think he had about 1 more tackle to break, and he just could not quite shed him. He was just pulled down, but you know there were blocks all over the side, and I think he could have gotten around the edge there and straight into the end zone. Great run.
And that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter here in San Francisco. 21-3, your score. You're watching the SFL Network on YouTube, presented by APM Music. As we get a look at Jerry McChesney's numbers, I am your play-by-play commentator, Eric Vinson, alongside Marcus Dunhill in the booth. Mark Lopez in the stat truck tonight. I want to thank him for his help as Denver, they're going to try and get some points on the board, and that's certainly going to help them as Logan Keel gets them first down yardage out to the 14-yard line into the SFL red zone.
That was a very scary pass from Miller. I wasn't sure. I thought that might have been had a chance to be picked off on that particular time. But if you take away Miller's interceptions, his stats are pretty solid for this game. He currently 20 for 29 and has over 200 yards in this game.
It's all about those mistakes there, Marcus. You as a quarterback know that all too well, as Jared McChesney is just breaking tackles galore, and he will bring it out to the 11-yard line. A short game for a lot of work.
They've just been taking too much time off the clock. They had 3 minutes or so in the third quarter when they took over, and they've already taken that 3 minutes, another minute of the fourth. They can't take 4 minutes to drive if they're going to come back.
Richards Printworks, official SFL gear provider. Be sure to check out simulationfl.net for more details. As Miller throws it out to the sideline, I don't think he was able to keep it in bounds. If he was, it was a minimal gain, so it's going to be a 3rd and 7 coming up. Akara, the intended receiver.
I thought they gave it to him, but I wasn't 100% sure. It looked like he got it with one hand. And at any case, the clock is stopped whether he was able to pick up that or not. So they've got a couple more tries here to try to get it into the end zone.
3rd and 7 from the 11. Miller is going to throw. He's going to throw the out route, and that's well covered. That's not going to help them out at all as they're dragged down after a gain of 1. So we'll see if they want to possibly throw out the kicking unit here, which it looks like they might.
They weren't able to get out of bounds, so they're going to, burn another 20 seconds on this play as well.
So Lawn will line up here for a 27-yarder. High snap this time around. Lawn able to get the kick away and is through from 26. So another 3 points on the board. 21-6 now your score. And Denver just chipping away at that San Francisco lead. Shoutouts to the Doctor, Denver Night Wings, Warhammer 62, Mark Daniel Lopez, Mr. Gutty 117, and many more there in the chat tonight. Certainly appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us. As Gabriel Manning's going to field it at about the 10-yard line. He's following blockers, and he got a good return. He'll bring it out to the 34, and that is where Rob Roby and company will take over. Roby's been absolutely amazing here today, Marcus.
He has. We saw the quarterback statistics put up a little bit earlier where he's got 100 more yards than Miller does, 3 less interceptions, and 3 more touchdowns.
Not to mention over 300 yards passing. That's always a good thing if you're a quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 34. It'll be a handoff to Zulu. Zulu finds some blocking along the side. No one's going to catch him along the left-hand side. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, San Francisco.
This just has not been Denver's day on this defense. They've let up 3 huge plays in this game for a touchdown. I want to get a better look at that replay and see exactly what Ogunzulu was able to do. He was able to get around, get past the line. He got perfect blocks, and there was just no safeties or corners or anybody down the left side of the field, and nobody was fast enough to catch him. Perfect reads and perfect blocks.
Absolutely. Just an incredible run there by the big running back. And that adds more points to the board for San Francisco. And again, we'll see if we can add this extra point here. Hold on to your hats, folks. This time able to get it up and through. Doesn't look like there was any problems this time, so it's certainly less of an adventure this time around, but San Francisco lengthening that lead out to 28-6. So Denver just quickly running out of opportunities here to stay in this ballgame.
Got an interesting statistic for you. Did you know that Josh Miller is the 3rd most accurate quarterback in the SFL?
You know, I was not aware of that. That's certainly a good stat there. And you even said it, minus those interceptions, minus the turnovers, he's had a good ball game. It's just very difficult to keep yourself in the ball game when you're turning the ball over. It doesn't matter how you're doing it.
Sometimes defenses just have your number no matter what quarterback you are. I know, one of the perceived greatest quarterbacks in our league right now, Ron Cochran, had a week a couple weeks ago where he threw 5 interceptions. He was still able to come away with the game, but they had the read on a lot of his passes. And, no matter how good you are, sometimes that just happens.
I was actually on the call for that game. That was a heck of a ball game there. San Francisco showing blitz. They're going to back out of it. Swing pass over to McChesney, and that goes absolutely nowhere. Chad Guy was there in a hurry. And I believe there was Camden Hoffman in there as well. So not a good first play there for the Night Wings.
Down by 22 with about 8 minutes left. Start looking to see whether you can make some big plays, because I don't know if you have enough time to make it back into this game.
Miller's going to throw. Miller's going to throw deep, and he thread the needle as Giacomo Jones able to go up and get that ball in coverage. Dean Maddox is not the guy you want to pick on, but Jones still able to come up with a terrific catch here.
I think it's a good opportunity for Miller to start making these big throws downfield. See, put that accuracy to use, put that ball where those receivers are going to get him, and try to let his receivers get some separation. They really haven't tried a lot of downhill throws on this Sharks defense.
So Miller will set up at the 42. He's got plenty of time again. This time he's going to check it down. Good coverage downfield by the Sharks. So they will take a good 8 or 9 yard gain there by the tight end out to the 49.
So far in this game, Miller's got about a 70% completion percentage, which is pretty solid for a quarterback. He's really done an amazing job moving this team down the field on almost every single drive. It just doesn't quite usually end the way they want these drives to end.
7:30 left in regulation as we'll get a handoff to McChesney on 2nd and short, but he goes nowhere. The linebacking core for the Sharks in there in a hurry and puts a stop to that.
That was a good read on the run because besides those linebackers, there weren't very many people on the line close enough to grab him, and he would have been past that first down marker pretty easily.
So a 3rd and short here, probably in 4 down territory, but it doesn't matter as McChesney able to get the first down yardage before he got clocked by one of the linebackers there. 1st and 10 for the Nightwings.
He really did get hit pretty good, but he did pick up that first down, which is what they needed him to do at this point. I think Denver's just looking to put a good drive on the table and try to get that touchdown, repair their image in this game a little bit.
Miller's going to hand it off to McChesney again, following blockers. That was a good run, good gain of 6 there on the play before he's wrapped up by Barkley.
The defense from San Francisco just really hasn't given Denver a lot of those big opportunities to make those big plays. Sure, Miller's gotten a couple of those big passes off, but nothing like Roby's been getting on the Denver defense.
They've done a great job about keeping everything in front of them, making sure there's nothing deep that's going to hurt them, especially with the score being the way it is. Miller's going to throw it over the middle. Another dangerous throw, but Giacomo Jones able to come up with it and get the first down.
So it's been a very impressive drive for Miller. I don't know if he's thrown an incomplete pass on this particular drive yet. His completion percentage just keeps going up and up.
So at the Sharks' 29-yard line, Miller's going to hand it off to McChesney again, and oh man, Chad Guy was waiting for him just a couple yards down the field.
Got about a yard past the line and then just got bounced backwards immediately, not getting through there.
Yeah, Chad Guy is not a guy I would ever want to run into at any point in time. 2nd and 8 from the 27. Time a factor here as we approach 5 minutes and counting. Sidearms it over to the sideline. Giacomo Jones not able to come up with it. He was step for step there with Maddox.
That was great defense, just keeping an eye on that football and getting between the ball and the receiver and just making sure that, I think all he did was just get in the way just enough where that receiver just couldn't get a good hand on that football.
So with 5:04 frozen on the clock and a 3rd and 8, Denver probably going to come out and sling it around a bit. Miller's going to throw. He's going to check it down, but not able to come up with the reception. And that's going to fall harmlessly to the turf. It'll be 4th down here. And it looks like we'll see the field goal unit again, which I don't necessarily agree with, Marcus. I'm not sure how you feel about this.
I think at this point you don't have a whole lot to lose. You're already down by multiple scores. I think you should just go and try to get that first down. When you threw that football 5 yards short of the first down marker, you pretty much know if he doesn't make it, you're either kicking it or you're going again anyway. So it seems like we're in 4th down territory.
So Lon will attempt a bit of a lengthy field goal here. It is 44 yards, and it is no good. As you see Lon there sitting on the turf. We'll get another look here. I believe it was pushed right.
Just a little bit too far to the right, man. This nothing has quite been going Denver's way in this game.
So with 4:57 left to go here, I'm pretty sure the Sharks are just going to run the football, but we'll have to see here with an offset I formation. Roby is going to hand it off to Zulu. Zulu following blockers. He had that long touchdown run before and probably could have gotten another one there. Still a good gain of 9 on first down.
It looked like he could have. He was pretty close, you know. A lot of these teams, you know, expect a couple 3 or 4 yard runs and just eat the clock. When you have somebody like Zulu, every single run is important, and these linebackers and safeties can't just expect him to get taken down at the line.
Denver stacking the box here, expecting a run. Roby making sure that play clock is bled all the way down. As Zulu gets a handoff, and he goes right up the middle. Huge gain into enemy territory, and that'll be marked down at the Denver 48.
San Francisco is just getting good blocks for their running back here. Zulu is able to easily get past that line, and he's always very close from having about, you know, he's very close to having just about 1 block to be gone.
Certainly not the game that we saw in week 3. Thought we might get one there at the half, as it was only 7-3. But man, as San Francisco turned it on here in the second half with a 22-point advantage and time winding down. Zulu with another handoff and another big gain out to the 43-yard line. They'll give him only 4. I thought he got at least 6.
They're just looking to keep that clock going. I think probably in the head of most of the players on this field, this game is likely over. So the question is that defense of Denver going to be able to get that football back and give Miller another shot, or are they just going to let this clock go down? I hope they continue to play and continue to fight till there's no time left on the clock.
And these fans certainly hoping for a final win here in the regular season. Hoping to push that record to 3 wins are the Sharks, as Zulu gets another handoff, and he will be marked just shy of the first down. But more importantly, that clock continues to roll.
It might not have quite been the season that San Francisco was looking for, but if you take a look at this particular game, you look at how well your quarterback is playing, how well all of your receivers are playing, how tight your defense is playing. This gives a lot of hope to the players and fans of San Francisco that they have what it takes to turn this team around and you know, make a better run next year.
So 3rd and inches, play clock going down to the very, very end, as Zulu will get a handoff, and he will get clocked in the backfield. That was a huge hit, and it'll be 4th down coming up here as the Denver defense holds. Matthew Jake with a huge hit.
It's going to take it down to the 2-minute warning, and then they're going to be able to pump the ball away.
Man, can't get enough of that, though. At least coming from a defender. So that will be the 2-minute warning. Game in hand here for San Francisco as they have a 22-point advantage. You're watching the SFL Network on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
So Miller's going to get the ball back with 2 minutes. Those 2-minute drills are always important, you know, to get as far down the field as you can as quickly as possible.
Kicks will field the punt there, trying to pin them back deep. Ball will bounce at about the 8. Gunners not quite maybe able to get it. No, they will mark it down at the 1. Man, that had some backspin on it right at the last second. And Denver's going to have a long way to go here to put any points on the board.
It's not a good way to start your 2-minute drill. I was about to say that a lot of quarterbacks get rushed in the last 2 minutes and throw interceptions. They don't have to worry about interceptions on this play. They need to worry about getting out of their own end zone.
Quick score stream update is Atlanta has a 14-6 advantage over Oklahoma City. Indianapolis coming back with a 1-point advantage over the hometown Knights, as Miller gutsy and throwing it from his own end zone. He will make it out to the 7-yard line. Nightwings going no huddle here. Miller to throw again. He's got an out route. Giacomo Jones able to field it, and he will be knocked out of bounds at the 9-yard line. 1:36 is frozen on the clock.
They're getting out of that end zone. They've taken a little bit of time off the clock, but they were able to stop it there. You know, once you get about 10 yards out, then you're pretty safe. But by the time they get 10 yards out, they're going to be about 25 seconds off the clock that they used to get out of this end zone.
Offset I formation. Miller to throw, and another quick throw to the out route there. Also gets knocked out of bounds, so that's good news for the Night Wings, and good news is that they move the sticks out to the 17-yard line.
Now they'll be able to put their minute-and-a-half drill on and see what they can get there out of their end zone. They're pretty safe. Now they just need to see whether they can get to that end zone before the clock hits 0.
APM Music, production music library, and custom music house for all of your live streaming needs. The Champions Will Rise soundtrack, the official soundtrack of the SFL, as Miller is going to check it down to McChesney out of the backfield, who can't hold on to it, and that falls harmlessly to the turf.
That's tough. When you're in a situation like this, you need to make sure that your receivers are going to be able to get their hands on those footballs. But even if he was, I don't know how far he'd be able to move with that, and he was pretty far from the sideline. You know, I think that it's probably better off being incomplete, because I don't think that was going to do anything but take more time off the clock for Denver.
I formation, 2nd and 10 from the 17. 3 wideouts for Miller. Miller's going to take a short drop and another short pass. This time it's to Jones again, and he will be marked out of bounds. No catch, and 3rd and 10 coming up.
You see a lot of these teams on the 2-minute drill having trouble keeping getting out of bounds with their receivers, but Miller's been having a great day with keeping his receivers out of the end, or out of the sidelines.
Booth is going to go ahead and take a look at this. He might have actually gotten his foot in after looking at it again. Very similar to that Gabriel Manning catch earlier, so that one being overturned, we'll have to see how this one goes.
After review, the pass has been ruled complete. The catch was made prior to going out of bounds.
So this time they'll rule it as a catch. So a good catch and out of bounds to stop the clock. So moving downfield a good 3 or 4 yards there. So it'll be a 3rd and 5 on that catch from Giacomo Jones. Offset I formation for Miller. Miller to throw. He's going to throw it deep this time, and he thread the needle out to the 40-yard line. Great throw and catch there. McCarroll was the one who caught that ball. Miller hurrying the troops up to the line, and they're going to go no huddle. Miller to throw again. Throws the out route. Tip drill incomplete. That was a dangerous throw out there.
That could have been an interception 5 for the Sharks there. It was not thrown quite high enough, and it was able to get batted away.
Second and 10 from the 40. Minute 9 left to go here. Miller going to throw again. He's going to try and go deep. This time he's got Logan Keel. The defense was caught trying to get the pick, and Keel is going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Night Wings.
Great play by Miller. Wow, I was very surprised. I didn't think he was going to get that much space, and then he was able to break a tackle to get to the end zone. You know, Keel really made a good play on that. It looks like they were going 1 for 1. One of the players, oh wow, just tried to go for that interception. As soon as he did, there was just not enough defenders near him. I think he was supposed to stick with that receiver, and as soon as he went up for the ball, that just gave him enough separation to break one tackle and go to the end zone. So perfect set of circumstances for Denver there to get away with that touchdown.
And they were finally able to find one of those circumstances there. We've talked about it ad nauseum tonight, but, I mean, Denver just has not had anything go their way tonight. So it's certainly good to see them get one of those long passes on the board. Law now on to attempt the extra points. Good snap, kick up and away and through. So 28-13 your score now. Onside kick coming up with a minute left on the clock.
With a minute left and all 3 timeouts, if they can stop them from getting a first down, they can get the ball back and try to do it again if they don't get this onside kick. As long as it stays out of field goal range.
Both teams all 3 timeouts, so not quite done here yet as Lawn boots it downfield right into the waiting arms of the Sharks hands team. So 1 second coming off the clock there, and they will have good field position to just run out the clock.
With those timeouts, if they don't get a first down, the ball can go back to Denver pretty quick.
We'll have to see how things go. Hand off to Zulu. Zulu trying to follow blockers. He will cut it back upfield, and he will get 2 as Denver burns their first timeout. 54 seconds on the clock.
Denver got their first stop. About 5 seconds came off the clock on that particular play. So they just need to make sure they can get to Ogunzulu as quickly as possible, not let him get that first down, and make sure they can get those timeouts.
I formation. Another handoff to Zulu. Not getting the success that he was getting in previous runs, as Denver knows what's coming, and they will burn another timeout.
One more try for San Francisco here to try to get 5 yards. Otherwise, they're going to be giving it back to Denver here with about, maybe a little bit over 45 seconds. And, no timeouts, but an opportunity to make a play.
3rd and 5 from the Denver 35. It'll be a long field goal try for Sloan as Zulu going backwards, and he will get marked down at the 38. So like you said here, Marcus, all 3 timeouts gone for Denver, but they'll probably get the ball back here in a hurry, as it looks like the punting team is coming out without their helmets, which was a little curious.
I figured that they would, it's very tough when you play those stance defenses to try to stop them from getting those first downs. And I think they were more interested in getting rid of those timeouts. A first down would have been helpful, but now with about less than 45 seconds, Denver is going to get another try.
So trying to pin him back deep again. Last time, pinned back at the 1. This time, they'll pin him back at the 3. So Kicks does his job not once, but twice. And Denver is going to have a tough go of it, getting out of the back of their own end zone. But they've done it once before already.
They did, but now they only have 39 seconds to do it. So time is not on their side, and they got to pretty much go big or go home, but they got to worry about not getting safety as well.
Not quite over yet, as we got 3 receivers bunched towards the bottom of the screen. Denver's going to go deep to start things off, and Jones wisely gets out of bounds after catching that deep throw. Giacomo Jones over the century mark with 128 yards on 12 catches.
Good play to get him out of the end zone, take 5 seconds off the clock. They still got a little over half a minute left, but they have a long ways to go. Opens up the field for Miller to try to find one of those longer throws.
Well, and a good 20-yard completion there, so that's certainly a good start. 2 wideouts towards the top of the screen for Miller. Pressure coming, and that's not where you want to go. Miller gets dragged down way back at the 14-yard line. 2nd and 18 coming up. They're forced to go no huddle with no timeouts. Miller short drop again. Going to throw it over the middle. That's caught by Logan Keel. A big completion of 14 out to the 29. Clock is going to run on them, though. Might get one more play off. Miller's going to throw, pump fake, over the middle of the field. Caught Giacomo Jones, or excuse me, that's McCarrow. And that will do it here from San Francisco. The Sharks etched their 3rd victory of the SFL season as they finished the year at 3-9. Denver falling to 3-9. Both these teams very, very good, and I sense that both of them will grow on this season 11.
I think that was a good outing by both teams there, just to show a little bit of life. I know that they had a little bit of issues with the interceptions on the Denver side of the ball, but they showed promise too. It was just a very, very tough Sharks defense that held them down. But I think you saw that that Denver had over 400 yards, and even with those big throws from Roby, they ended up with even more yards, Denver did, than San Francisco. So there's a lot of promise from both teams even in this tough game.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, especially with these two impressive quarterbacks. Marcus, do you have any final thoughts before we let the people go?
You know, I think it's going to be a good ride going into this offseason. Both these teams didn't quite have the year they wanted, but they showed that, you know, they can put up with the best of them in these games and start looking at where you do your best and start making that game plan, because season 12 is going to be right around the corner.
Oh, but before that, we've got some SFL playoff football coming. Starts with Carolina and Queen City. Carolina squeaking in at the 10 slot, visiting Buffalo, New York to take on the Corsairs. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central, Wednesday the 10th on Twitch. And then immediately following that, we'll have the Las Vegas Fury coming into town, into South Dakota, to face off against the Sparrows. 8:45 Central Time, 9:45 Eastern, so a full slate of evening SFL football live on Twitch TV. For Marcus Dunhill and Mark Lopez down in the stats truck, and everyone deep in the heart of Texas at SFL headquarters, my name is Eric Vinson. It has been a great SFL regular season. Stay tuned, we've got much more coming, and it'll be a great playoffs. Thank you and good night.